Hi everyone, this is week 5 already, and we were asked to do observations. Of course, with everything being really weird right now, we were able to do them online. And the ones that I chose, I'm actually was given them as guidance for another class that I'm in, about teaching character traits, a bunch of different ones. So I'm actually going to be using those. The first one I'm going to talk about, and I wish I knew some of these teachers' names because they're just awesome. But I'll link obviously in my references. But the first one, like I said, was teaching character traits. Is a third grade classroom. Um, First off, the classroom environment, the way it was set up, the students were kind of in a horseshoe shape. Very colorful, had a lot of things up on her boards. And like I said, they were talking about character traits, so she had a big bulletin board, with different words that she was using for that. One of the first things that, the start of the video to get the students' attention, it clipped off at the very beginning, but you come into the video and all the students are like chanting, yes, yes, yes. The teacher is very engaging and really receptive to the students and what they are responding to. She was talking about how she had a super fun story, how she was going to start reading it to them about characters, and she specifically, was talking about character traits and saying someone is nice, but being more specific than that and saying, someone is loving or someone, just being able to pinpoint it a little bit more and getting those great vocabulary words out. Another thing I really liked in this video was when she was transitioning the students from just them listening to her to starting the actual activity. She basically gave them a 5-second countdown, said, you have 5 seconds to get your stuff out of your desk, told them what it was, and started counting. Excuse me. I also really liked that as the students were getting their stuff out of their desk, the ones that were completed, she's like, oh, Jamie's all set, has her stuff out, Jason has his stuff out, really acknowledging those students that are prompt, that are getting their things done. I like, too, that she gave every student a list of descriptive character traits, and she, just let them know that they'd be using them, that sheet throughout the rest of the year. In terms of the book that she chose, I thought it was really good. It kind of, it was about a child who was getting a new little brother or sister, and just kind of how the child was very excited, when the baby was in the belly, and then, once it was out, it was kind of a different story. I feel like it's very relatable probably to a lot of the kids in that class. And it also showed, obviously, this book being about, or this lesson plan being about character traits, kind of the change in the personality, starting super happy and excited to in the middle there, not so happy and excited. A couple of the things that I like that she did, of course, which I think most people would do, would be stopping throughout the book, really taking a minute for any difficult words or words that are a little bit outside of the vocabulary currently. There was a word that they stumbled upon, and I didn't write it down. Communicate. I forget what it is. But the student forgot the meaning of it. Possibly collaborate. But the student forgot the meaning of it, and the teacher basically said, call in another student and see if they can help you out. It makes perfect sense, but I've never really thought about it. Another observation that I watched was a 4th grade ELA classroom, and it was regarding main idea. I thought it was very interesting that, I find it very interesting not being in a classroom, I think mainly that the way that the teachers talk to the students is very mature. But either way, the teacher basically wrote out the whole objective on what the main idea was and what they were really looking to do. She I liked the first teacher, honestly, better. I felt like she was definitely more engaging with the students, but also obviously a very different lesson plan. The lesson plan for the main idea, basically the students looked at an article. She gave them a time frame to go through and highlight any important details. From there, they worked in groups and played a bingo game, actually. She kind of set up the idea where they read an article about a specific bug, and then there were bingo questions, and they would have to work as a group to figure out the answers based strictly on the details in that article. The thing I found most interesting in this was just how the students interacted with each other, honestly. The questions they were asking each other, and the dialogue that was going back and forth in terms of finding details, finding different details. When they all got back together as a classroom too, I like that when the teacher called on certain students, they discussed what they had written in terms of details. The point, of course, was the main idea and supporting details. They were able to kind of look at a couple different things, which were all correct, but kind of able to differentiate extremely important details from not such important details. I liked how the teacher, as kind of a way to start the class and to start the assignment, was to have all the students pat themselves on the back. Of course, patting yourself on the back is always like a, sign of good job. But it also let her know that the students are ready to go on, and they're all paying attention for that matter too. I liked how she really didn't say no or answers were wrong, just really tried to guide the conversation based on the information she was given. The other thing too is there was a few vocabulary words that a couple of the groups didn't know, so afterwards she kind of reanalyzed it and went back and said, okay, we're gonna have to focus on some vocabulary words that a few students were unfamiliar with. So yeah, I really enjoyed that lesson too, and just kind of seeing how the students drive the flow of how things happen so much. It's probably a pretty common thing for people that are in a classroom all the time, but working with adults regularly is a whole different beast than kids. So, seeing the teacher reaction to how the students are is just, it's very interesting. The third video I watched was about analyzing a text. It was definitely a different format from the other two classes, or the other two observations I did. This one was definitely more like for virtual learning. But it was cute when she started the video. She had like music playing and she was bopping around. So I was laughing. I would definitely be paying attention in her class for sure. Anyone willing to step out of the box a little bit like that is awesome. On top of that, of course, when she first started speaking, she basically said that she was going to be using her web to help students locate text and find different texts and different things and pull out data, and she was just so excited about it. It was interesting to see the excitement on a topic such as that. Some of the things that she was doing, she had some great slides up, like the Big Six, in a breakdown of all the different, parts of that. I didn't love how she was writing on paper as she was doing it. Like maybe that could have been done ahead of time. But otherwise, she was very understandable and relatable. She definitely made the subject fun. Like I said, the slides she had were great. Definitely intricate, and she definitely spent a lot of time doing them, or someone did. at a 5th grade level, you could definitely see the difference than like a 3rd or 4th grade level, of course. The difficulty and just the words, the language, definitely different than the 3rd or 4th grade. Of course, analyzing text, it's a lot more in depth too. So she had different slides with a breakdown of exactly what needs to be done. In between too, she actually had different assignments that you're actually able to do. So, listen to what she's doing, pause, and work on your assignment. A lot of my kids, I have 2 3rd graders right now, and one's completely remote and one is hybrid. So she goes to school Monday, Tuesday, and is home Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. A lot of what they're doing are this kind of start and stop, at least with my bonus on the school. So that format is something I'm getting comfortable with. I think it's a great way, especially now that we do have to teach online. It's changing the world. With that said, yeah, I mean, we had some great videos this week. Like I said, that I used for this class. But it's some great examples of teaching in totally different strategies and things that I definitely haven't thought of. I honestly too didn't realize that there was a whole site out there where you could just Google different videos like this. Of course there is. But it's just, you don't think about it. So I appreciate this as an assignment for sure, and I definitely learned a lot this week. So I hope you all have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.